All right, sounds to help you sleep, study, and relax. This one has been a long time in the making and doesn't pertain to microphones, interfaces, or any other type of usual audio topics, but this channel is about all things audio, so I can talk about a vast majority of audio-related topics. I also find sound design really interesting, so this fits into that category just a little bit, but don't worry, we'll get right back to the usual topics after this video, but for now, let's talk about the different colors of sound and how they can help you sleep, study, and relax, or go into the upside down like Al. So I have a really hard time falling asleep and then staying asleep. Any noise will jolt me awake. So for quite some time now, I've been in search of the perfect noise that will help me fall asleep and then stay asleep. At the same time, I already find it hard enough to read, really anything, without sounds distracting me. So when it comes to studying or researching, I also need to rely on sounds to help me stay focused, not to mention my tinnitus. So in this video, we'll cover all of the different sounds from white noise, pink noise, brown noise, and everything in between, as well as some of the research and the science that's actually been done on it. We'll even talk briefly about other sounds like rain or fan noise, but also things to look for when trying to find good noise that's been put together the right way. And trust me, there's lots of noises out there that people put together that actually make it harder to sleep rather than helping the issue in the first place. Audio is complex. All the links to the research and studies can be found in the description of this video if you're interested. Let's start with white noise. We'll start with this one because it's kind of the baseline of all the different colored noises. What do I mean? So white noise is sound that includes all of the frequencies audible to the human ear between 20 hertz and 20,000 hertz, played at an equal intensity or amplitude measured in decibels. Now, I could nerd out here and break down why that statement isn't quite accurate about human hearing being from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz, but I'll save that for another time. Also, I think it was more so just saying it plays frequencies covered across all human hearing. The main thing I wanted to get across here is that white noise includes all frequencies across the spectrum that can be heard by humans, played at an equal intensity or amplitude. Now, I'll break down how the colors of noise differ a little bit later in the video, but white noise includes low frequency sounds, high frequency sounds, and everything in between, played at an equal amplitude. So, it's our baseline. This is where we start to begin to morph the sounds from here, which will end up giving us all the different colors of sound like pink, brown, and others. White noise actually gets its name from white light because white light consists of every color of the rainbow. Something really cool about these clumps of sound like white noise, brown noise, pink noise is that it's actually just a massive block of tones, as in it's just a bunch of noises or tones playing all at once, which is actually one of the main reasons it's so effective. Let me demonstrate. If I took some white noise into Adobe Audition and threw on a notch filter, I could pull out some of the individual notes hidden within the chaos. For example, you can actually do this with a lot of things, but this specifically more than most, and that's why it's so effective. Imagine you're in a massive room of people that were all talking at the same volume level, and you were positioned in an equal distance to all of them, as in no one person was closer to you than another, and no one person was talking louder than another. It would be nearly impossible to pick out one single person or conversation, which would end up making this a sea of indistinguishable noise, which is perfect for blocking out incidental noises that might happen when you're trying to go to sleep. This is why white noise and all the other different color noises are so effective. Whether it's a clock ticking, the AC whistling, a fan clicking, a dog or cat bathing itself, or your significant other snoring in your face, you know who you are. These sounds can help you fall asleep and stay asleep. It's a masking effect. Those same annoying noises that used to make it hard to fall asleep or jolt you awake are now dulled or completely hidden because of these noises, or this noise, brown, white, pink, whatever. Before we get into the other colors of noise and their specific benefits, let's talk about some of the research found from white noise. Don't forget, links to everything in the description of this video. A study in 2017 found that white noise helps subjects fall asleep 40% faster than usual, and another study from 2016 found that white noise helped patients in a noisy coronary care unit sleep better than they normally would have without the noise. Other studies have even found that white noise could actually help with learning concentration, memory, retention, and a slew of other things. Annie Schlecht, I'm probably butchering her name and I'm so incredibly sorry, sleep consultant and occupational therapist, said, "Our brains are wired to try to pick up patterns to keep us safe and alert of what's going on around us, and white noise helps to block that out so that we can continue transitioning through our sleep cycles without those disruptions." She also said, as it relates to kids, the sounds that they're exposed to in the womb is pretty similar to the white noise that we're trying to expose them to with this method. She goes on to recommend that it not be played too closely to the child as they sleep, so, not right beside their head. But as you can begin to see, there are plenty of benefits to be had from playing white noise and other colored noises. But now, let's move on. Now, pink noise. So the thing that makes pink noise different from white noise is the fact that the amplitude of the higher frequencies in pink noise are actually turned down over time. So every octave, the frequency gets turned down by half. We perceive higher pitched sounds to be louder than lower pitched sounds because we're more sensitive to higher pitched sounds. So pink noise accounts for this by turning down the amplitude of the higher pitched frequencies. So even though white noise technically plays all the frequencies across the spectrum at equal amplitude, we actually perceived higher frequencies to be louder even though it's being played all at the same amplitude as the lower frequencies. So pink noise actually sounds more even to our ears, though technically speaking, white noise is the most even. I know it's getting a bit technical, but simplified, pink noise is less harsh to listen to for our ears. For me, this is the trade-off. Technically, white noise will drown out the most sounds, but I prefer pink or even brown noise because for me, they're just more calming and soothing to my ears. White noise is just too harsh to listen to. This may not be the case for you, it's just my preference, and you've got to find out what works best for you and your situation. Now, through my research of the perfect noise for my sleep solution, I found multiple helpful videos covering the same topics that I am in this video, and as I said earlier, if you're interested, links are in the description of this video. One of these videos talked about a pink noise study from 2012 that found that patients showed an improvement in deep sleep and reported sleeping better overall. During deep sleep, the neurons in our brains are firing slowly, known as the delta brainwave pattern. As we age, we don't get as much deep sleep, which is associated with memory problems.
Yay.
A 2017 study played bursts of pink noise in sync with the delta brainwave pattern in older adults and found the waves increased the amplitude, and participants performed up to 30% better on memory tests. We don't fully understand why, but hopefully we will soon. Brown noise. Brown noise essentially takes pink noise a little further. It's deeper and even less harsh. I love it. It's like a nice calming waterfall in the distance. You also have blue noise, which is basically the opposite of pink noise. Super annoying, in my opinion. Just utterly painful. Then you have gray noise, which basically enhances the low and high frequencies, leaving the mid frequencies ducked and less noticeable. Let's listen to them all back to back, shall we? As already stated, a lot of people listen to these noises when they're trying to sleep, study, or relax. You can buy a white noise machine, download apps on your smartphone, or you can just do what I do and listen to them on YouTube as you try to go to sleep. One thing I can't stand is a lot of these sounds that I find when looking them up have issues. A lot of people would just go to certain websites and download the noise that loops over and over like every 10 to 20 to maybe just 15 seconds. I immediately pick up on this because each time it loops, there's an audible click in the audio due to someone not fading it together properly. And that is so much worse for me than just sleeping in silence, which is a no-go for me anyway. The other issue is if there isn't a click in the loop, there might be a subtle tone that I can pick up on during the 10 to 20 seconds of that audio looping that begins to get more and more distracting because, as stated earlier, our ears are designed to just pick up on patterns. Then we get to the rain or fan noise videos. Rain doesn't work for me because I can just tell when there are certain raindrops that are closer to the microphone than others. The drops are just more pronounced, and it kills me over time when my brain really begins picking up on it. Fan noise videos can have issues where the fan might have a sound clicking. You get the idea. I need to go to a therapist. I need therapy. But through my journey to find the sound to help me sleep, study, and relax, I've made quite a few sounds of my own to fix all of these issues I just spoke about and tested them out on myself. Now, obviously, what works for one person may not work for another, so I'll be slowly releasing the sounds that I've created on my YouTube channel over the next few weeks or so. And if you guys want to give them a try yourself, I hope you find at least one of them helpful in some way. I'm even eventually going to make a couple with like really, really light musical aspects in the background. Those don't work as well for me personally, but they may work great for you. Who knows? You know what they say, I'll try anything once. As always, thank you so much for watching this video, and if you did find any of this helpful or interesting, maybe consider liking, subscribing, or sharing with a friend. It really helps. Like I've been saying in my past few videos, my goal is to get to the point to where I can at least release 2 videos a month rather than just 1, because right now, due to time, I don't have a ton of it. But I would love to get to the point to where I could release 1 video a week. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video, but when it comes to things like the different sounds of audio, just remember, you know what they say. Are you a voice actor? You want to learn Adobe Audition or Audacity? You can sign up for one of my live classes taught 100% virtually over Zoom, which means you can join from the comfort of your own home no matter where you are. And I record each class, and at the end of the night, I send you the recording of class so you can retake this course as many times as you want for the rest of your life. Or if you want to go through the course at your own pace, you can sign up for my on-demand version that you can find over at my website. Link in the description. The good news is, even though the classes cover DAWs like Adobe Audition or Audacity, they are so much more than DAW classes. I don't just cover everything you see on the screen right now. I also have one entire week dedicated to the most important part in making sure you have professional sounding audio. How to acoustically treat and soundproof the space that you're recording in, your home studio. Not only that, but I evaluate your audio and your home studio individually throughout all the weeks in class to make sure your home studio and your audio is just as competitive as the top bookers in the industry. So, if you're interested, you can find links in the description, and if you're not, well, you know what they say.